If you're like many Calgarians, Stampede Week means hosting out-of-town visitors, and if you want to stand out as the host with the most, well, you might want to take the advice of my next guest. Jimmy Lee Vennard is the director of butlers at Azure Ridge Estate. He's here this morning with his 5 fundamentals for fabulous hosting and pampering. Welcome, and it's lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so if you want to be the host with the most, 5 things we need to do. And the first one seems like a no-brainer, but not necessarily. Know when your guests are arriving.
Yes, you should always know what time they're coming and who is in the party.
Okay.
Because then that helps, what we like to say, avoid awkward silence.
Okay.
So when they've come, you get to know everyone, you know who's arriving, so you're anticipating their arrival.
So you're not like, oh, I didn't know you were coming too, and
exactly.
Oh, your bed's not made. And,
yeah.
Oh.
Who are you? Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2. A welcome drink, which you are hosting us apparently.
Here at Azure Ridge, we have the wonderful Dangerous Diamond. So I unfortunately can't tell you all what's in it, some wonderful stuff, but if you were to visit us at the Azure Ridge Estate Hotel, you might be able to twist my rubber arm. But it's always fun to know what your guests' likes and dislikes are, of course. And if you have a themed event or a barbecue, it's always fun to have a welcome beverage, and that helps take the edge off for the guests and for yourself.
So what do you mean by welcome? Like, am I greeting them at the door?
Yes, you can greet them at the door, and once they're coming in, to help avoid, again, some more of that awkward silence, you can have that welcome beverage.
Put something in your mouth so we don't have to converse.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, and you mentioned likes and dislikes, so more to that end.
So, of course, you always want to know how your guests are relations to what they prefer and what they don't like, so you can have that ready in their guest room. So, certain types of laundry, cleaning products, different things. So, one of my favorite things is that your guest, for example, Lady Ginger, is staying with you, and she's in town, of course. She's had a day of meetings, and she returns home, and you know that she loves Cher. And so you know that she loves her Cher music, and that you ask her, she's like, how was your day? And she's had an awful day. So at dinner time, you excuse yourself, and you sneak upstairs, and you just grab a Cher CD. It's super simple, one off your shelf, and you can slide it into the guest room with a little note that says, tomorrow may be better.
Oh, so it's really just about being thoughtful, but also
personable, and it's the little things that your guests will appreciate.
And you'll know by looking on Facebook.
Yes.
If you're not
social media,
right? Social media is a good way to figure out what people like. Handle guest requests with grace.
Always. When a guest asks you something, so Lady Ginger has decided very suddenly, last minute, that she wants a mani, a petty, she wants tickets to the Calgary Stampede, and she needs a town car, she needs all these things, and you're freaking out, but you can't let the guest see that. You have to be grace under pressure. And so you can handle that guest request with calm and dignity, and then once you get to your pantry, you can have that little attack or do whatever you need, and offside where the guests cannot see you.
Now, how can that be applicable at guest requests? If it's just a more, I'm welcoming you to my home, you're coming from away, it's not like I'm not hosting you at a hotel or something like that. But you can still help people facilitate what they
Absolutely, and you can always just give them tips or give them suggestions. I always like to know what's happening in Calgary. So, of course, right now, the infamous Calgary Stampede, know who's in town, give them little tips about the local community or wherever you reside.
Okay, and tact and discretion. This I like because this must be a big part of your job,
It is, and it's always, you want to be very confidential. You don't want to talk about it because you always got to remember that whether it's like a domestic disturbance or drunkenly disorderly, you always have to remember you're going to see that guest the next day. So you just want to be very calm, try to avoid the situation, try to get people out of the situation, separate them. You never want to like get right in there if there is a big brawl. And of course, I would love to give you an example, but this is a family show. And so, yeah, but it's always just remember to be calm and collected, and your guests will pick up on that.
Fly on the wall.
Yes.
And if we would like to be hosted at the Azure Ridge Estates, tell us just a little bit about that.
So the Azure Ridge Estate Hotel is out in Pritis, Alberta, and it is a 13-suite property. It's a boutique-style hotel, but people can rent the whole estate. We also have a restaurant for the Opal, and people can come 7 days a week by reservations in the restaurant. All of that information you can find on our website.
And we'll put links up on our website at breakfasttelevision.ca. 5 tips that you need to live by if you want to be the host with the most. Really nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming by today.
My pleasure.